Evening, everyone. This is take two of my origin story. I am Clardy Davis, and I am owner and founder of Clardy Law, LLC. It is a boutique mental health legal services firm located in the state of Georgia. Today, I want to introduce to you a little bit about who I am, the services I provide, specifically what is unique about the mental health legal services I provide, and then a little bit more about my origin story. So let's get started. So again, my name is Clardy Davis, and I am owner and founder of Clardy Law, LLC. So specifically, I am a lawyer that specializes in legal services that are rarely discussed in the legal arena, and that is specifically tied to mental health. So I work in areas such as ADA accommodations, incapacity estate planning, and then my new 2020 signature service, which is why I am doing a series of 8 videos, which is Psychiatric Treatment Representation, whether it's involuntary or voluntary treatment. So a big question that I'm often asked is, why mental health? Why is that a legal service that you decided to provide? So I feel like I have a unique perspective in mental health. So specifically, one of my advantages in being able to offer legal services in the areas of mental health is that I have lived experience, both as an individual who has bipolar depression, also as a family member of a loved one who has diagnosis of mental illness, as well as a friend of other friends who also have a diagnosis. And finally, I have experience as being a legal advocate. So with all of those unique experiences, it gives me the ability to facilitate, negotiate, and advocate using my skills, techniques, and most importantly, using the vantage points from all three to provide families and loved ones who are challenged with a mental illness solutions that are both practical and solutions that provide an overall successful journey towards stability. So I have my notes here so that I don't get lost. So my actual legal practice was born out of my unique experience in mental health, specifically, most importantly, my lived experience. So at the age of 21, I was a senior, I believe, at the University of Puget Sound, studying classical vocal performance. And for those of you who may or may not know me, I was for many years a destined opera singer, meaning that in middle school, high school, and college, I wanted to be an opera singer. I knew from a very young age that I wanted to perform. I wanted to do classical voice, and I was very driven towards making that dream happen. Well, at the age of 20, was diagnosed with bipolar depression after experiencing what I would call a barrage of symptoms, more noticeably depression, but also doing just a lot of different activities, burning myself out on both ends, often struggling to get out of bed in the morning, but still functioning, but always having this nagging feeling that something was pulling me under, that I was drowning. And so at the age of 21, I was initially diagnosed with depression and then re-diagnosed with bipolar depression. So what does that mean? Well, it meant for me specifically that I spent from the ages of 21 to, let's say, 35, 36, 37, really struggling with the roller coaster of symptoms. And for either individuals who are challenged with a mental illness or families who have a loved one who are challenged with mental illness, it is definitely a roller coaster. It is often a series of very high highs and very low lows. Often for those who have a unique challenge of being a professional, many of the higher highs are often accompanied with being able to perform at an elevated level, which in the normal world, you would be, You would be a superstar. You would be commended for your competency, for your dedication, your hard work, you showing up to 8 different volunteer activities within a 2-day time span, and sometimes not being able to sleep. You are a true, in many professions, you are to be admired. But when someone is diagnosed with a mental health condition, specifically bipolar, whether it's bipolar type A or type B, that could spell disaster. And for me personally, I went through so many periods of burnout and those ups and downs, more than I can actually remember. But I had so many key times where I felt like I was drowning, where I felt like I wanted to die, where I felt like there was nothing else for me to live for. There was no one else for me to live for. And life was just too difficult and unbearable for me to go on. So why do I say all of this? I say all of this because for individuals who are currently in a state of crisis and for family members who are lovingly helping them through this journey, it is often a maze. It is often a time in many people's lives where they feel utterly hopeless, frustrated, and most of all, they feel like they just cannot get any peace. They feel like the illness is winning and they are on the losing side. So having an attorney or even having an advocate in general who has those unique experiences, has those lived experience, they can truly connect to not only what you're going through right now, but for those of us who have made it to a journey of stability, they can see the other side. They can see where you need to go and they can give you considerations for getting there. So as I said, I spent till about 36, 37 really traveling a dark and sometimes grueling journey to stability. I finally entered a treatment program that was DBT based, and it was a harrowing experience. I went in after having a nervous breakdown, literally at work, and not only did I go, but I went, left. 2 weeks later, I was right back, this time for a more extended time period. And true to form, the therapist who did run the program told me that I would be back because, like my desire to succeed, I did everything that was asked of me, probably times 10, but I wasn't really absorbing the key that I needed, which was, what do I need in my life to create change? Once I was able to really, truly do that, I was able to create coping mechanisms, create mindfulness skills, really create a sense of a forward path for me in my journey to stability. So my specific challenges are specific to me, but I often see them in other clients that I deal with. I often see them in just friends and those that I've come across in the mental health community. And one of the greatest challenges is that during this period, there are often not a lot of legal services or just resources, period. And you can either say they're not a lot, or on the other hand, there are so many legal services that it can be overwhelming. In my case, I knew of no legal services. In fact, I knew of very little services other than going to my psychiatrist, getting a pill, and then going to therapy when I found out that it was available. Other than that, there was nothing else. And then on the other spectrum, you do find a lot of legal services that can tend to be very overwhelming, and navigating through what I call the mental health maze can be a frustrating and difficult experience, either as an individual, as a loved one, or as someone who is an advocate and a champion and a friend for mental health. So I specifically used my journey and a pivotal point in my journey where I took the power back, where I specifically became my own mental health advocate. And through that taking back of power, I was able to find my purpose, which was creating a law firm, or using one of the greatest skills that I had, which was my skill as an attorney, to provide legal services for loved ones and family members who were in the same position or are in the same position that I was so many years ago, and who are looking for answers or looking to really navigate the maze of answers and resources and just feel lost and confused. So specifically about taking back your power. I feel like the greatest asset that someone could have in the journey of mental health or in the world of mental health is being able to be a mental health advocate, either to yourself, to others, or to the mental health community at large. There's such a need for advocacy, and that is squarely where my law firm lies. So this is probably, let's just say, the end of this one for now. But I will bring to you over the course of the next 7 videos a little bit more, not only about my journey, but we're really going to dive into some of the specifics, challenges that individuals and family members face related to the signature service that I am introducing in 2020, which is specifically when you go to a mental health treatment center or a evaluation center, and whether you are involuntarily or voluntarily committed, what are your legal rights? What are some of the challenges that families and individuals face in either knowing or asserting their legal rights? And more specifically, how can ML Clardy Law support you in that journey? So if you're in the state of Georgia and this is something that really resonates with you, connects with you, and it is a service that either you need specifically, or you or the family or advocate or friend of a loved one who is in need of these services, I really would reach out to me, schedule a quick discovery call so that I can learn more about how I can better support you and your family in this journey of yours towards stability. And stability is possible. Peace of mind is possible. It is a slippery slope. I live it every day, but it is available to you. And I would love to help you in that part of your journey. Thank you.